Welcome everyone! Now before I start our video, I'd like to announce the name of my most hyped movie of 2022. Anyways, my most hyped movie is a highly anticipated sequel to a movie released a couple of years ago. One that made over $300 million at the box office. There's already been a follow-up announced. A movie you all know. Its main character's name starts with an S. Please welcome my most hyped movie of 2022, Sonic the Hedgehog 2! Aw yeah, this is happening. Now if you know me, you know that I am a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. Even though I'm not one of those people who defend literally everything the franchise has done, or fantasize about what Sonic's feet look like, or go on the Reddit to complain about how long Sonic's quills are, I still really enjoy this franchise, and like most fans, would eventually think, you know what would be awesome? If Sonic had an actual movie. Not just the OVA, which still rocks by the way.
Shut up, Tails!
I mean a full, theatrically released movie. All you would have to do is keep it animated, set in Sonic's world, maybe have more studio work on it, and you're set to go. And as fate would have it, Sony, and eventually Paramount, would announce that they were working on a Sonic movie. A live-action CGI hybrid movie. As time went on, I grew morbidly curious with this movie. Oh, Jim Carrey's playing Eggman? That's honestly kind of perfect. Ben Schwartz? First I've heard of him, but you know what? He's a fan, so at least he's living the dream. My one question, along with everybody else, was, what will Sonic look like? Oh no. And with that, everybody grew horrified, enraged, but also morbidly curious as to what this blue monstrosity would look like. Well, come April 2019, where Paramount finally released a trailer, and...
Oh my god!
Put it bluntly, it was ugly as sin. Eventually, the director said, okay, we fouled up. We gonna fix the design. Okay, but good design does not mean good movie. So we waited and waited a little longer, until finally, in November, they released a new trailer, and... I started thinking, you know what, this movie might actually be enjoyable. Granted, it might not be great, but you know what, it still might be pretty fun. Also, he is my son. I don't care what anybody says, he's my son and I'll protect him no matter what. And a couple months later, and the movie finally came out, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. Sure, it was no masterpiece, but it was still fun, fast-paced, action-packed, and surprisingly heartfelt. Besides, it was one of the few things that happened in 2020 that wasn't an absolute disaster. So, okay, the movie was fun, I kind of enjoyed it. I wonder what... Yo, it's Tails! It's Tails! So immediately we were all like, yep, there's gonna be a sequel. And as luck would have it, they announced a sequel set to release in 2022. After a long time of waiting, I was finally ready to watch the first trailer.
Holy crap, Knuckles!
Do I look like I need your power?
From that point on, I was hyped. So hyped. And then the movie finally came out. About a week or two before the movie came out, I asked my buddy, who's also a huge fan, if he wanted to go see it after school, and he said sure thing. So right after school, we rushed on out as fast as we could to go see it. So, was it worth all the hype? Well, let's take a dive. The movie picks up a while after the first one, with Robotnik stranded on the Mushroom Planet. Knuckles emerges from a ring portal, and Robotnik promises to show him the way. Meanwhile, Sonic's out getting himself in and out of trouble, but mostly in. He's left at home while Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady attend a wedding out in Hawaii. But uh-oh! Robotnik is back with Knuckles at his side. Tails rushes in to go save him, and now he and Sonic are on a rush to go save the Master Emerald from ending up in the Mad Doctor's hands. If I had to describe this movie, I would say it's fun, fast-paced, and energetic. If you like the first movie, you will certainly enjoy this one. There's much more of the characters we know and love in this one. Not only are Sonic and Dr. Robotnik back, but joining the mix are Knuckles, played by Idris Elba, and Tails, voiced by the same actress from the game, Colleen.
Oh, Shag Hennessy!
And all the actors did a great job. While The Rock probably would have been my first choice for Knuckles, Idris Elba still did an awesome job, bringing back the more serious Knuckles we all remember. The action in this movie is spot on, just like what you remember from the games.
Except it's a movie.
The ending had me so hyped, even if I kinda had it spoiled. The humor was also pretty solid, even if my buddy and I were the only ones laughing at most of them. And of course, having the obligatory fart joke and floss scene. There were also many fun little references to the games, such as the Mean Bean Cafe or SA2 being written on the side of the helicopter. The soundtrack was also pretty good, with only 2 nitpicks that I'll get to later. Playing It's Tricky while Sonic fails at stopping a bank robbery is just perfection. Also, while I won't spoil the end credits scene, it blew my friend's mind, and I was all like,
Holy crap!
all in all, this felt like a natural continuation of the first movie. Sonic 1 did a nice job setting us up with Sonic and Robotnik, with the human characters helping as an audience surrogate and not alienate people outside of Sonic fandom seeing the movie. But in this movie, you get twice the movie and twice the Sonic. And despite what some critics say, having more Sonic in a Sonic movie is a good thing. What Sonic 1 did right, this movie did even better, with more action, more humor, a story even truer to the games, and even more of the characters we fans have come to love. Is this movie perfect? No, there are a couple of problems. But don't worry, there's not too many. For starters, including the credits, the movie is 2 hours and 2 minutes long, which coincidentally is also the same length as an entire playthrough of Sonic Forces. While my terrible attention span makes it hard for me to sit through a 2-hour movie, this movie did not feel that long, but there were some scenes that did drag on for quite a while and could have easily been shortened. There was one scene involving Maddie and Rachel snooping around with Tails' gadgets that went on for quite some time. While seeing Rachel unleash her inner Karen and try to run somebody over with a golf cart was awesome, this scene felt like it dragged on for 10 minutes and could have easily been cut out. Even I was getting pretty impatient. One nitpick my friend had that I eventually agreed with was that aside from Tom's amazing ringtone, there was almost no music from the games. Look, I get that there are licensing issues with music from the older games, but come on, their budget could have easily allowed for it. And speaking of both music and padding, there's a scene where Sonic and Tails have a dance-off with a dude in Siberia. While the scene is pretty fun and Sonic and Tails' dance moves are amazing,
Joey did the thing!
of all the songs they could have chosen, why oh why did they choose Uptown Funk? Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the song, but I am really tired of hearing it so often. And is it me, or does at least one kid-friendly movie every year or two have to have this song in its soundtrack? And said scene at some parts did feel a little familiar to the bar scenes of the first movie, even if it had a different approach. At the end of the act, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is basically just what a sequel needs to be. It brings back familiar faces, along with some new ones, expands upon the past of our characters, sets them off on an even bigger quest than before, and gives them new conflicts to deal with. While it may not be an Empire Strikes Back or Toy Story 2 kind of sequel, in the same vein as the games, it still does its job as a follow-up, managing to improve upon its predecessor and give us more of what we liked about our first adventure with the Blue Blur. My current rating for the movie is probably a solid 8 out of 10, mainly for its enjoyability and as a fan of the source material. Check it out if you have the time. And remember, if someone tries to spoil the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, that's no good. And if you do spoil this movie, then Gremlin Sonic will use one of his warp rings and hunt you down.
He knows your location.
See you later, everybody!